In this lesson, we are going to break down three important concepts in Active Directory: forest, tree, and domain. This forest, tree, and domain together form the logical structure that helps organization to organize and secure their resources in a large network. To make it very easier for you to understand, we will compare them to some real world organizations. Let's start with the domain. Think of a domain like a branch office of a company. It manages its own employees, computers, and internal policies. So, in Active Directory, a domain we can call it as the smallest unit of an administrative control. It has its own security boundary and it is defined by a unique name, like, for example, it.itproguide.com. Now, why we do this? What is the objective of having a domain controller, then having users, groups, and computers and policies to manage it? So, in a domain setup, in the branch office or in the organization, you're bringing all these user related access to the a central database, a central master data, and that is what we called as domain controller. And from there onwards, you will be able to control access to the network resources like a file server or a printer centrally by using the domain controller. So this is the basic advantage of having a domain controller in an organization. Now let's talk about the tree. The simple way to explain a tree, it's a group of related domain. So now imagine your company has multiple departments: IT department, HR department, finance department, and which are very, very big in numbers. So you decided each to have a domain. So this domain form a tree because they share a common namespace. For example, as you can see in the picture, itproguide.com is the domain name, and there are other domains also named as hr.itproguide.com, it.itproguide.com, and all are a part of the same tree because they share the same namespace, and that comes under itproguide.com. So this is what we called as a tree. It is a group of related domains. Now the forest, the entire organization. So a forest is like an entire company, including all departments, regions, or subsidiaries. So let's assume that IT ProGuide have two subsidiaries, itproguide.com and also pkiblog.com. Even if they don't share the same namespace, but all trees in a same forest. So they trust each other. As I draw here, they trust each other and they use the same global policies. So a forest is the top level security and management boundary in Active Directory. So you learned about forest, tree, and domain. Let's map this into real world example. Think of IT Pro Guide organization as a forest have multiple subsidiaries. The entire organization we can call it as a forest, which have multiple domains and spread across different part of the world. And then one of the department can be considered as a tree. Within that tree, you may have individual domains for different offices or teams, like, for example, it.itprograde.com. Organizing this structure keep things well organized, and also it helps you to maintaining the security and centralized management. To summarize, a domain is a single administrative boundary. A tree is a groups of domain in a hierarchical structure with a shared namespace. A forest contains one or more trees and is the highest level container in the Active Directory. So understanding this structure is key to designing and to have a scalable and secure network across your organization. That's all. See you in the next video.